Let's try this Ruby Kisses Natural Finish Foundation. It retails for $6 for 1.18 fluid ounces, and it comes in 12 shades. That's definitely a limited shade range, but this is also a bargain Korean style makeup. I got mine in the shade Fair Porcelain, which is their very lightest shade. It is supposed to have good medium coverage for all skin types, so let's give it a try. I'm going to start with my Tarte BB cream. This has SPF in it, and it also does a little bit of priming and pore filling, especially since I have some texture right now. I'm going to start by just putting this on with my hands. I don't want to over apply this since it does have medium coverage, and I don't want it to look too heavy. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to use one of my Sigma brushes. These are my absolute favorite ones to use for any kind of foundation if you want that flawless sort of airbrushed look. So this is going on really, really well. I don't think I put on too much. I'm getting really good coverage of all of my redness and sort of uneven spots on my face. Okay, I think this looks great. It does have a little bit of a glow to it like this, which is funny because later it has a very natural, almost matte finish. And some of that is definitely from my powder. I think if you were to just let this dry down, I think it dries down a little more matte. I am going to tamp this in just to get rid of some of that glow. I am not looking for a super glowy finish just because I have texture and that makes it worse. I'm getting pretty good coverage, but I still have these spots. COVID left me with some nasty spots. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of concealing, and I'm gonna try not to overdo it because I wanna see what the finish looks like. Next, I'm going to use my Givenchy powder. I use this in number 3. This is my standard best powder, so I try to use this for all of my foundation tests. And I think this looks really beautiful. As you can see, even their lightest color is a little bit dark on me. It's not terrible. I can make it work, but I do think it oxidized a bit. Okay, so makeup is on. We are ready to start the wear test. So far, so good. Spoiler alert, I have worn this on a whole vacation, so I know I like this, but we're gonna go through the wear test and I can show you exactly how it wears on normal to textured, almost 50-year-old skin. I'm not on Accutane right now. I kind of go on and off of it. I'm off of it right now, and so my skin is not ultra dry, but I just got hit by COVID, and I got like a COVID rash on my face, like here. And so I have got a ton of texture right now. So you'll probably see that in the pictures. There's not much for it. I will say that this has pretty good coverage. It's not irritating, it's not making it worse, and it does seem to help with covering it without being full coverage. And because everybody usually asks me, this is my lipstick today. I'm just wearing one of these new e.l.f. Sun Boss glosses, and this is their mauve one. I'll put the name up here because it's too small and I can't read it, so. All right, let's go ahead and get into the wear test, and we will see how this wears throughout the day. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is my starting point, and this is in natural light. Obviously, I've got some of the issues from the COVID rash left over there, but everything else is looking really good for something that is medium coverage. Usually medium coverage is, it just looks heavy on me immediately, and I have to say this one doesn't. I'll say that using the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, I think, is important. I think that is an important part of it. The powder you wear, it really matters in what kind of finish you get. So. Okay, here we are at 2 hours in natural light from the windows, and I mean, just really no change. It still looks really, really flawless. Really, really impressed. This is so good. Okay, we're now at 4 hours, again, natural light in front of a window. I mean, you can see a little bit of texture and a little bit of glow starting to come through, but I mean, amazing. Okay, 6 hours. Not too much change. I blew my nose. A little bit is coming off where I've been messing with my face. So we have made it to 8 hours and not a whole lot of change. As you can see, a little bit of dew here. I mean, just the lightest amount. And honestly, I kind of think it makes it look better because it was almost a little too matte before. So overall, what I'm going to say about this is for $6, if you are looking for something a little more high coverage than your usual sort of Korean skincare skin tint tone up essences, some of my favorite things that I usually would wear with dry skin. When I have normal skin, but I have more issues going on with my skin and I want a little more coverage, I don't like to go all the way to the very, very heavy duty full coverage type of foundations. I find that that just makes my skin issues look a little more cakey. So I'm always looking for that magical sort of in between. And if you go to glowy, then a lot of times, even though some of the glowy ones have a lot of coverage, you end up really sort of accentuating any lumps and bumps that are on your skin. So it's really hard to get something that's not too matte, but it's not too glowy. And this one kind of falls right in between. I don't think that this is one that I would normally wear all the time, but when I want more coverage, this for $6 really, really fits the bill. It is not drying. It does not accentuate the texture that you have on your skin. It doesn't 100% cover like the worst of your bumps, but it gets most of it so that you can just go in and do some spot concealing. I mean, it's one of those ones where if you are in the limited sort of skin range that they actually offer, I think for $6, it is definitely worth having in your arsenal. This is the lightest one. It does oxidize just a little bit, and I would say that this is just on the edge of being too dark for me. If you fall within this skin tone range that they do offer, I think this is really worth having in your back pocket for almost all the skin types. It really kind of works for everything. I think maybe if you're the ultra driest of the dry, you might not want or need this, but honestly, it's one of those ones that you can mix it in with sunscreen or a little bit of primers, and it really depends on what you put under it. You can sort of make it a little more glowy, or you can make it even more matte. It is just right down the middle. It's a really, really nice thing to have when you're having bad skin days, which I definitely do sometimes. I prefer every day when I have anything but like the oiliest skin, because I do get the oiliest skin, but when I'm not in that phase, when I have normal skin or really, really dry skin, I really love to have the skin tints, the serum ones, nothing too glowy, but something that is almost a moisturizer so that any of the texture that I continue to have, no matter what kind of skin I have, like which skin type I have, that texture, I think it looks the best, especially if you're a little older like me and you have wrinkles and things like that. Anything that keeps you sort of hydrated and doesn't dry you out too much and is very thin and light is going to look the best on your skin. But sometimes I need more coverage, and this is awesome to have. This is awesome to also mix in with some of those skin tints if you need just a little more coverage in the skin tint that you already have. I did also get the next color up from this, and it is just too dark. I am sorry, I am looking for it and I cannot find it. I know I had it 2 seconds ago. Oh my gosh, because I actually wore this yesterday, or wore the other one yesterday, and I had to refilm today because that one, not only was it too dark when I put it on, but it oxidized. Ah, I found it. Okay, yeah, so this is the other one, and I will put, they look really, really similar. The lightest one is, this definitely is just on the edge of, it's not too dark for me. It is actually just right, but barely. Like, this is not for my lightest day. So if you are my skin type color, you have to go with the lightest one. I just wanted to share this one because it was sort of a random buy and find. I was kind of blown away with it. For $6, you got to share that. That's going to be just right for somebody. At the very least, if you're finding that you are sort of in between and you're having trouble finding that nice middle of the road, not too heavy, not too light, natural finish that leans matte, this is great. And it is a great option if you can't beat $6. So if you actually can wear one of the colors that they offer, I highly recommend that you give it a try. Okay, so I love to share good finds. This was just a random good find, and I think it might really work for some of you. Okay, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. As always, I love talking to you guys. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, I sure would appreciate it, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I love you guys being here. Okay, hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video.